Yes, we will have presentation today, and let me kick it off. I'll try to keep everything as short as possible for today's presentation. Today's presentation are for two topics. Number one, different types of deployment you can use and how testRigor can access your testing environment, and building cross mobile and web tests. For the first one, like the common question is, hey, my test environment is in VPN, it's not available from outside. How exactly testRigor will be able to access my test environment for me to be able to run tests? And for that, there are multiple different ways how you can do that. You can just simply whitelist IPs if your test environment is in DMZ, or you can establish a tunnel where through the tunnel server, testRigor will be able to access your test environment, or it could be VPN to VPN connectivity, or there are multiple other ways you can connect private networks specifically for the company. And of course, there is an option to deploy testRigor on-premise, although it is by far the most expensive variant. So next is I would like to talk about and show you a quick demo on building tests which span both web and mobile. So there is an interesting trick in there. I'm sharing my screen right now, where in order to be able to build cross-web and mobile tests, you need to start from mobile, because you will be uploading the application. So the initial thing would be native. You will specify native and hybrid mobile. Then you will provide probably username and password. And infrastructure, you will be running it on, let's say, this generate the test with KeyPad for now. Let's get the sample mobile application. Okay. And we will actually generate one test. All right, there we go. So we created the application. So basically, you can start from web or mobile, but the test suite should be based on mobile, because it will be hooked up into actual APK file or IPA file for your application, and then you can open different URLs and do all this kind of stuff. So let's create some tests. Let's actually do exactly that. So let's switch to web, do a couple of actions in the web, and then switch back to mobile. Web and mobile. So before we do web, we need to switch the context from being in the context of mobile to the context of desktop web. For that, we can go to documentation, where is the link, always here. And close to the end of the list of all the commands, there is, as you can see, switch to browser or device and start browser or device, and so on and so forth. So let's start to copy an example where we start the browser and switching environment. Then let's do open URL, Google. Type figure. So you're able to figure out if you can find testRigor in here. Next, next is we need to switch back to original device. Let's look into our documentation again. And as you can see, like default is the name of the original device, and it was not browser, it was device default. And I see the test had been generated, and it says I'm ready, so you can tap I am ready. All right, let's kick it off. And well, it will take a little bit of time to kick off because the application will have to be downloaded. Then emulator should start, and then we should run the application, wait until application started, and then the actual test will start. So currently, I guess we don't show those stages. We show it as if it's in queue because there was no yet updates from server, but then once there will be, it will immediately switch to in progress once the application first screenshot is ready and will be provided. And there we go. So we loaded the application, then we switch to the content, go to Google, type testRigor, and then type enter. And then we switch back to the device, click I'm ready, and so on and so forth. As you can see, we are on a different screen here saying are you steady, similar to how it was here in auto-generated page. So basically, the trick to make the cross mobile and web application work on testRigor is to start from mobile application. This is where you will be able to have mobile because you are providing APKs. The web application wouldn't allow you to provide APK. And then you can switch, you can check the documentation, start new browsers and devices, and switch between those browsers and devices as you see fit in there. Okay, that is it, what I wanted to share. Are there any questions? All right, if there's no questions, then sounds great. We will get this webinar short and sweet. Thank you everyone for attending, and hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much. Bye.